I'm so excited to be back with you once again. First of all, I just want to give a major shout out and thanks to all of you. As of maybe a couple of weeks ago, at the time of filming this video, I have just surpassed the 500 subscriber mark. And that may not seem like a lot, but it's a huge milestone for me, for which I am extremely appreciative to all of you that have supported my channel, watched my videos, and comment and engage with me on a regular basis. It's just nice to know that something I'm doing is helping somebody enough that you all come and hang out with me and decide to subscribe and hang around and stay. So with that being said, thank you. I hope that over time I can get to know you guys and what it is you like and care about, and give you more of the whatever content you subscribed for. So in the coming weeks, hopefully YouTube will give me the community tab, and I'll be reaching out and maybe polling you guys, whatever the case may be, to get a better feel for what it is you're looking for, and I'll do my best to give it to you. So with that being said, a couple weeks ago, I did a video on my top 7 travel items from Amazon, and a lot of you all asked for more travel tips. I also got a request a while back for a what's in my makeup bag video, and I haven't filmed that yet because it's complicated, so I figured I would try to give you all a what's in my makeup bag travel edition. So I do travel a lot, maybe even a couple of times a month, if not more. And I have kind of over time gotten into a groove, tweaking what kind of makeup and cosmetic items I travel with. So let's start off with planning. When you are thinking about what makeup to travel with, you need to make 3 important considerations. The first one is, how are you traveling? We know that traveling via car or some sort of ground transportation has some different rules than what it means to fly with cosmetics post 9/11, and we'll talk about that a little bit. The second thing you need to consider is, where are you going? Are you going somewhere warm? Are you going somewhere cool? Are you going to somewhere that is humid and hot like it is right now where I am? Or are you going somewhere with a more temperate climate? Things like that. And lastly, what am I going to be doing? You need to consider, am I just going on vacation? Is it a business trip? Am I going out at night for something fancy, or is it a more casual occasion? When you are packing your makeup, you need to consider all 3 of those things and gather products that will allow you some flexibility to accommodate the different situations you might encounter. So, with that being said, I kind of have several different configurations of what makeup I travel with, depending on those factors, but I will show you all what I call my flight light collection. So when I fly, I try my darndest to never fly with more than 2 bags if I can help it. I've gotten to the point where I don't want to check anything anymore for many reasons. But usually it'll be my carry-on, either that big duffel bag or the small Rockland suitcase I showed you guys in the Amazon video. And as a personal item, it'll be that Shrey book bag. Sometimes, if I don't need a laptop, I will just fly with my purse as a personal item. And if the trip is short enough, sometimes I will only travel with that straight do book bag, just stuff all my clothes and my toiletries in it and pack a small purse inside of that. So I say that to say I try to keep my flight light package of cosmetics as small as possible. Furthermore, we know that in today's climate, the Transportation Safety Administration, TSA, has some very strict rules when it comes to liquids. The 311 rule in particular says that we can only have one quart clear bag of liquids, and each one of those liquids can be no more than 3 ounces. So most cosmetics nowadays are coming in packages that are 3 ounces or less, but when you think about all the other cosmetics that you have to pack, or better yet, liquids that you have to pack, like toothpaste, contact lens solution, lotion, hand sanitizer, etc., 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 you can fill up one of these fairly quickly. So I'll show you guys how I kind of work with that. So the first thing I will try to do is preferably fly with a stick foundation, and even more preferably something that does not require a primer, because that will eliminate one more liquid. So I would opt for something like my Westman Atelier Vital Skin Stick, because it doesn't require a primer and it is a solid stick. Or if I just had to have a liquid and I wasn't doing anything fancy that would require more coverage, I would do my Lip Bar tinted moisturizer, because it doesn't require a primer either. Another option that I might opt for if I had room is my Fashion Fair stick foundation, coupled with the Fashion Fair primer. This does add another liquid, but because it's accompanying a stick foundation, I still manage to eliminate a liquid in the form of a foundation. So those are just a couple of options there. And then for concealer, a lot of brands are starting to deliver their concealers in travel sizes or just smaller footprints in general. So we'll take this NARS, for example, which is the Creamy Radiant concealer. This comes in a full size, but because it's travel, it's super, super tiny. So for example, I got my Westman that goes in here, and then I have my NARS concealer that goes in here as well. And then powder. If we keep with our Westman example, I've got my Westman Atelier Vital Skin Powder that I drop in here because it's dry, and it just so happens that this container is very, very small. Okay. Then for eyeshadow, you want to travel small, and there are a couple of different options I use for that. Like this palette, for instance, this is the Chocolates by Juvia's Place. It's neutral. I don't necessarily have to do anything colorful because, again, this is bare minimum product. We're not trying to haul around a whole lot of stuff. So I would take a palette like this one, or even the Beauty Bakery. This is Get That Dough, something that will give me some options in terms of neutral eyeshadow looks. So for our example, we're gonna drop this one in. We still have like so much space in this bag, and so far I only have one liquid product. Then in terms of my eyebrows, I like to travel with my Uma by Sharon C 1 and Done 2-in-1 brow styler. I've got my pencil on one end and I've got my brow gel on the other. So this is one product. It eliminates having a whole extra tube. It doesn't take up much space. In the bag it goes. Then for blush, my NARS palette is generally going to be my go-to. I wear Exhibit A. I reach for this all the time. But within this palette, I also get Taj Mahal, which is great as a blush or a highlighter, and a couple other options here. So drop that in. Still only one liquid, okay? When it comes to eyeliner, a pencil is the way to go. I can't find my black version of this, but this is the Absolute New York waterproof gel eyeliner. I love this eyeliner. It's only like $2 at the beauty supply store, but I can do a lot with that. I can use this in place of a black or dark brown eyeshadow if I want to create smoke. I love to wing this particular pencil with a brush, or I can just use it as a straight up traditional eyeliner. Lots of possibilities here, but it eliminates the need to carry a pot of gel or a liquid eyeliner pencil. Now, I've never been flagged for liquid eyeliner before, but why risk it if you don't have to? So that goes in the bag. Then in terms of contouring and highlighting, I typically, unless I'm going somewhere fancy, I don't tend to contour. But if I do, I take my Black Radiance True Complexion Contour Palette, the powder version of this, because I get a contour powder and I get a highlighter powder in the same palette. Put that in the bag. And then, let's see. Yes, lips. So a multi-use product is a game changer in this category. I like to travel with my Uma by Sharon C lip tint oil and gloss, because we'll take this shade in particular, Casually Lit. I am no stranger to using this as blush, eyeshadow, and lip stain. I'm actually wearing this red right now, but I have it in this color, a red and a purple. That instantly creates 3 5-minute casual looks off the cuff with just one product. Throw that in the bag. So within this bag, I have foundation, I have concealer, I have powder, I have eyeshadow, I have blush, I have contour and highlight, I have my eyebrows, and last but not least, mascara. I tend to buy a lot of mascaras in minis anyway, just because, like the expensive ones, I don't want to invest in an expensive mascara and not like it and be stuck with a whole tube. But I will typically travel with my Tarte Big Ego mascara. Another good one is the Lancome Lash Idol. I got this free from Ulta for my birthday, but I really enjoy it. So yeah, this is a whole face and multiple different looks. And if we count, I have 1, 2, and this is 2 different shades, 3 in our concealer, 4, and technically, if we want to be nitpicky, this many liquids. That is all. Which means if I were to segregate these from the rest of my makeup and stick it with all the other liquid toiletries I have, this would take up very, very little space, which is important in terms of fitting things. It's not just about how many ounces. For instance, This tinted moisturizer, this tube is a 1 ounce tube and it takes up a very small footprint. It is liquid, but it's kind of slim, right? This bottle of LYS foundation is also 1 ounce of product, and it takes up a much larger footprint than this tinted moisturizer would. So when I'm packing, I am mindful of how much space this would take in my makeup bag. Hopefully you can see that. This would take it in my makeup bag versus something like that. So just a tip, be mindful of the actual size of the bottle. Just because it meets the volume limit doesn't mean you won't run into problems potentially with space within your 1 quart. Okay, so that was kind of the slim down iteration of my makeup. So now let me show you another variation of that. And I am going to start with the lip bar, this tinted moisturizer. The concealer from the lip bar is actually, it's not mini size, but it's short. It's not huge. So we'll put that in there. That's 2 liquids. Then the lip bar powder. And they actually have a itty bitty eyeshadow palette that has 4 colors. It's got a transition shade, a dark, and a couple of different shimmers that I could probably get a couple of looks out of. Throw that in there. Hopefully you can see that. Sorry guys. So we have our face and our eyes, and then for blush I'm gonna go back with my NARS because I just feel like these 2 palettes, I feel like these 2 palettes are very good complements to each other. And it's dry, so that's cool. So got those in there. And then I will once again, instead of packing my lip stains, I am going to pack these Absolute Perfect Pair Duo Parfaits. These are lip pencil at one end and lip color at the other end, like a crayon. Hopefully you can see that. So another dry ingredient going in here. And I'll do my dual-ended eyebrow pencil. And for highlight, I'll throw in Dew Wet Balm from demystify Beauty. An eyeliner pencil, a tiny mascara, and I will throw in a bronzer palette. Here. So this is a different variation of the Flight Mini. And as you can see, if I go back, some people would call this a liquid. So for the sake of this argument, I will count it as that. Then my concealer is a liquid. My foundation is a liquid. And my mascara is a liquid. Everything else is dry. So that's another combination that will give you some flexibility, giving you an entire face with a small footprint and also observant of the TSA 311 rule. Something else I did forget that I want to show you all. Setting spray. Setting spray will still fit in this bag. I like this tiny NYX matte finish setting spray. It's only 0.6 fluid ounces, and it's that little in the bag. So sorry I left that out. So let's talk about a couple of honorable mentions of things I periodically like to travel with. There are a handful of foundation brands that are starting to make minis, like Makeup Forever. I have this HD Skin in this tiny little bottle, but they don't make this in all of the shades. And I've been kind of shouting from the mountaintops. I don't know if anybody can hear me out there, but they need to do that. LYS Beauty, on the other hand, has just launched sample sizes of their foundation on their website. I think they're like $4 or $5 in all of their available shades. So that's a good one. Then the Makeup Forever primers come in these little tubes that are very easy to travel with and small footprint. This is a 1 fluid ounce tube. And they actually make a travel size of this that's like half that, okay? And then the Makeup Forever HD finishing powder, which this is the mini size of it, the travel size, and it goes a long way. This is the only size of this that I own. And then last but not least, I mentioned the Fashion Fair stick and the Fashion Fair primer. Here's the Fashion Fair powder. I typically will only travel with this as a collection if it's a driving trip, because I feel like this powder, the packaging has a kind of large footprint in my luggage. But if I'm on a driving trip and I have the luxury to take something like this, sometimes I do, just to have the complete collection. So before we kind of wrap up with some general tips on traveling with makeup, I just want to thank y'all again for supporting my channel. This channel does thrive on the viewership of all of you, and I really appreciate it. So please be sure to like this video, comment, talk to me, share your tips. And if you're not already subscribed, I invite you to subscribe and turn on that notification bell so you don't miss any new videos. So if I had to kind of summarize my top 5 tips, I would say number 1, y'all think dry. For instance, we talked about sticks, powders, palettes. If you like liquid foundation like I do, consider trading that out for a stick when you travel. If you like liquid highlighter, opt for a powder, so on and so forth. That's going to help you, particularly if you're flying, but also if you're driving, because it minimizes the potential for leaks and spills. Number 2, multi-use products are your friend. I pointed out the Uma by Sharon C It's Complicated lip tint oil and gloss. If you got a lip color that can double as a blush, or a blush that can double as an eyeshadow, you're gonna save yourself space, and you're going to save yourself time putting your look together, because you don't want to spend more of your time, whether it be vacationing or if you're business traveling, getting up early for a meeting. You don't want to spend more time doing your makeup than actually experiencing what you're supposed to be experiencing. And I know it's one thing to be using my makeup here at home where it lives and I can go through my drawers and different things. And it's another thing to be in a hotel room, living out of one of these or my luggage, and having to rifle through this every time I want to put myself together. No, that's for the birds, in my humble opinion. Number 3, we didn't talk about remover, but I suggest that you ditch the liquid remover in favor of something dry, like a makeup eraser. This is the travel size of the makeup eraser brand eraser. Or I can recommend the Uma by Sharon C makeup remover wipes. These wipes, they come dry in the package, but they're infused with some ingredients that remove makeup. So you travel with them dry, you wet them to activate that ingredient, and voila, there you go. You have saved space and you've cut yourself back yet another liquid. Number 4, simplify your routine. Now, let me think about how to say this. Some of us are super minimalist. Others of us are super maximalist. And I mean like full on Tu Wong Fu. Thanks for everything every day. I'm somewhere in the middle, and I don't think there's anything wrong with either of those approaches, but you need to work smart. For instance, you may look at your collection and edit as you pack and be honest with yourself about whether or not you actually need each item. And if you can say no, leave it at home. Otherwise, if you're just married to looks that require a lot of things, I would advise you to plan ahead. I generally plan what I'm going to do to my face ahead of time anyway, but if you plan ahead, then you give yourself a chance to just take what you specifically need for a specific look. For instance, this is going to be a bad example, but let's say I'm thinking about traveling with this palette that has 9 colors. If I know that a look that I am going to do only requires one of these colors, instead of packing this palette that has 8 colors that I'm not going to use, I might opt for a single that is comparable to this. This is one thing. I know I mentioned packing palettes, but this is where singles come in handy, and magnetic palettes like my Inglot palette come in very, very handy, because I can dial down specifically to what I need for a specific look and leave everything else at home. And number 5, I would say opt for a consistent mood or a look across your trip. For example, when I pack my clothes, I tend to pack colorways. I might not want to pack 3 or 4 pairs of shoes, so I know I want to pack 1 pair of black shoes, just as a wild example. Then I'm going to pack clothes that will go with that 1 pair of shoes. Or I might decide I would just want to wear blue and gold my whole trip. Or I just want to wear purple. Or I just want to wear red and white. Whatever the case may be, you can coordinate your makeup around that to simplify how much you actually need, or limit yourself to a particular pattern within that. For example, lip colors. I generally never travel with more than 3 colors of lip products. I'll have 1 red, 1 neutral, and 1 purple. That's usually what I try to do. Everything else it just has to work with whatever I'm packing, and vice versa. Give yourself some boundaries and some parameters to live within, and it helps you cut out all the noise and simplifies your decision making and what you'll pack. So overall, y'all, it was kind of random, but I hope it helped somebody to pack better, to travel better, and to be more efficient. Because who wants all that extra baggage in their suitcase or in their life anyway? So as always, I just encourage you to do what you love what you do, and y'all, life's short, travel light, and I'll see you all on the next one. Bye-bye.